guys, it's time to answer the most important question in SMMA history once and for all. What is the best niche of all time? I don't know about all these other gurus on YouTube talking about SMMA. I personally grew my marketing agency, Atlas Digital, to over $250,000 per month and had over 200 active clients at our peak. So is SMMA saturated, or is everyone just in a bad niche? Seems like all of the best niches are filled with way too much competition, making it so hard to succeed. With that in mind, there's a few untapped niches and opportunities within niches that are popping up right now, getting ready for 2024, that are ripe for the taking. This is your opportunity to go out and make millions. So with that in mind, let's dive in. All right, guys, here we go. The best SMMA niches for 2024. I'm going to break down the worst niches and the best ones. With that in mind, some friendly reminders. And yes, that's me dressed up as Santa, because I'm about to give you guys absolutely everything. First things first, you have to pick your niche in 24 hours. If you're watching this video and you haven't selected a niche, you take longer than one day, you are literally wasting time. It's extremely important to focus on revenue generating activities. Are you getting clients and are you getting them amazing results? Those are the only two things that matter. So don't take longer than a day to pick your niche. Another friendly reminder, go into niches where you have a competitive advantage. If you're a good painter like Bob Ross, then you still don't want to go into painting, by the way, because that's a bad niche. But the idea is you want to pick a niche where you have some sort of competitive advantage. If your dad was a dentist, go and work with dentists. If your brother is an attorney, like me, literally, my brother is a personal injury attorney. If I were starting out from scratch, why not go and work with personal injury attorneys? I could literally ask my brother for insights on the niche, how they talk, what they want, what they hate, what they've tried with marketing, so on and so forth. Number 3, you want to pick a niche where you're comfortable talking to people in that niche. So for example, my brother, like I said, is an attorney. I know how attorneys talk. They're pretty intense. They're very direct. They're very blunt. If you have the personality that can handle that sort of pressure in conversations, then going and working with lawyers is a great idea. But if you're a little bit more reserved and technical, then it might not make as much sense. You might want to pick another niche like dentists or doctors where they're not going to grill you and be as intense about the whole process. So you want to pick niches where you feel comfortable talking to the prospect. So let's say that you love fitness. You love going to the gym. You know about working out. Well, maybe you can go after gym owners or martial arts studio owners because you'll feel more comfortable talking to people in that niche. I also love niches that are proven to work. I always ask myself, is this a niche where there's already other people succeeding? And is this a niche where a ton of other people have scaled to 7 figures? And if so, all you have to do is figure out how to go into that niche and be better or different. So I like niches that are proven to work, like chiropractors, like roofing, like solar. I also like niches where there's a big or growing TAM. TAM stands for total addressable market. How many potential prospects are there? So for example, plastic surgeons, there's only a few thousand in all of America. So while they do have a ton of money, it's tough because there's not that many people to reach out to. Whereas on the flip side, med spas is a growing total addressable market. There's people opening up med spas literally every single day, which means that as time goes on, there's going to be more and more opportunity and your market will grow and grow and grow. I also like to go after niches where the prospects have money. I do not like dealing with the objection of this sounds great, but I just can't afford it. I would much rather go into a niche where I'd never have to deal with this objection and all I have to do is convince them to want to work with me. Because if you go into a broke niche, you essentially have to convince them of 2 things. Number 1, you have to get them to want to work with you. And then once they're bought into you and your service and your offer, then you have to find a way to convince them to come up with the money. And if you're in a broke niche, this is going to be a lot harder. So personally, I like niches where I don't have to deal with this ever. I also like niches where it's easy for my clients to get an ROI. All right, moving on to the next friendly reminder before we dive into the top worst and best niches for 2024. And I will get to that, I promise. But again, I wanted to start off with a foundation of what you guys should be looking for when picking your niche. I like niches where it's easy for my clients to get an ROI. So if you're working with a nail salon or a restaurant, you're going to have to get that nail salon or restaurant hundreds of customers for them to be able to make back their, let's say, $1,500 plus another $1,000 that went into advertising, plus another $1,000 that went into advertising. So you're looking at $2,500 all in. Now you're going to have to get them hundreds of customers for them to even be able to make that money back. So I'd rather go into a niche like high ticket medical services, such as spinal decompression. If I get them one client that pays them $5,000, they end up making their money back. I also like niches where it's easy for me to get them results, not complicated. So for example, if we're dealing with a niche like real estate, let's say that you're looking for a home. Do you think that people just like go into a store and buy a house all of a sudden? Absolutely not. It's a whole process. Buying your home on average takes 6 to 12 months. So it's going to be tough for me to get my client results in a simple and quick manner. If they're running the ads, or if I'm running the ads, I'm generating the leads, I'm generating the appointments, but now they have to wait 6 to 12 months before ever getting paid. Or for example, let's say that I'm working with architects. Not saying that that's a terrible niche, but, or for example, let's say that I'm working with architects. There's not that many people out there running ads for architects and doing marketing for architects. And while that might be a blue ocean, it's also extremely hard and complicated to be able to go out and get them results in a simple format. Go after niches where it's simple to get them results and you don't have to come up with something crazy complicated. And then the final reminder before we dive into the list of top worst and best niches of 2024, every niche fucking sucks. Name a niche, it's bad. There is no perfect niche. You guys have to take whatever niche you're in and find a way to make it work. And then once you actually commit to that niche for long enough to crack the code on it, figure it out, what's going to happen is you're going to be like, oh, this niche is great. But here's the truth. It was only great because you stuck with it for long enough in order to make it work for you. I had a student literally post in our group today, and they were like, I switched niches 3 times before finally learning the lesson. So don't niche hop. Commit to your niche and accept the fact that it's going to be hard no matter what. So with that in mind, the top worst niches for 2024, let's dive in. At number 1, this is going to piss a bunch of people off. I'm not sorry. Real estate. Here's the fundamental problem with real estate. It's not actually a bad niche. However, the way that people are running the real estate niche is bad. It's not working. For example, right now, everyone that's in the real estate niche is running ads to get realtors leads, to hopefully get them sellers or buyers on the phone and try to make them some money. You have to understand, how do people buy homes? If you're looking for a home, you normally don't click on an ad. What you normally do is you go on social media and look for realtors. You ask around to your friends and family. So you tap into your own existing network, or you just go on Google and type in realtor near me. It's such a high intent purchasing decision that if you're just running an ads and scrolling, it's not like you're just going to see an ad and be like, oh, I want this. It's not an impulse-based buying decision. It's an intent-based buying decision. Number 2, OnlyFans. Here's the problem with OnlyFans from what I've seen. Unless you are famous, or unless you can land some girl or some guy or whatever that is already well known or has such a crazy personality that can just get a shit ton of attention, at this point, it is commoditized. It is extremely hard to compete in the noise of all of the people doing OnlyFans. That being said, it's also a lot harder than most people realize. There's been a few people that have hit me up asking me, hey, do you coach OnlyFans agencies? And I ask them, well, what's going on? And they tell me they're struggling big time because number 1, it's been commoditized. And then number 2, and I'd say this is an even bigger challenge, is that it's gray hat. A lot harder to get ad accounts up and running. It's a lot harder to do paid media. You have to come up with very crazy and innovative organic content strategies. And even then, they have to be compliant. So I think a lot of people glamorize OnlyFans. I think after Andrew Tate blew up, everyone was excited about OnlyFans, but I'm a no on this because, again, it's been commoditized. There's a lot of noise. It's very hard. And then number 2, it's gray hat. It means that to even run the business, it's going to be really hard to keep it afloat without getting shut down on social media, on your ad accounts, so on and so forth. All right, number 3, I hate low-ticket home services because you're dealing with companies that are selling something for dirt cheap. And again, you're going to have to help them generate hundreds of deals for it to make sense for them to continue paying you every single month. So can you succeed in these niches? Yes, you can. For example, there's an agency that went through Agency Lab and now he runs a 7-figure painting agency. He's also the only person that I know that's in the painting niche and crushing it. I don't like this specifically for the fact that you're going to have to get them so many deals for it to actually make sense for them to continue paying you. That's the number one reason. That's why I don't like it. The only other thing that comes to mind is that based on the service, it can be seasonal or location-based. So in some areas in America, you're going to have less homes that need pest control. In some areas, you're going to need more homes that need pest control. Not a fan of low-ticket beauty niches, barbers, salons, nail places. I'm a no. Because again, you have to get them such a crazy volume for it to make sense. For example, I have a friend who actually owns a bunch of med spas. And what he does is he sets up nail salons to generate traffic. And then he upsells people on the med spa. And it's right next door. You can literally say, hey, you can head over next door and get one free Botox or get this treatment or try it out at 50% off for the first month. And he uses it as a way to generate traffic, not as a way to generate money. So if you're just going after these specific niches and only helping them generate leads with the end goal of making money for that specific business, it's going to be really, really hard. So I'm out on low ticket beauty. I think it's a bad niche. I'm also out on honestly anything low ticket. Again, I think it's really hard. I would rather you guys focus on niches where you just have to get them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clients and it pays for your marketing and then some, as opposed to having to generate dozens or even hundreds of customers for it to make sense. I also wouldn't go into auto detailing because of Tony Lee. Yeah, I just wouldn't go into it. I think he destroyed the niche and it's also low ticket. I also like weird as fuck. I also hate weird as fuck niches. So for example, if you're going after rock climbing gyms or you're going after indoor trampoline places or indoor skydiving, that's awesome. It sounds cool. It sounds like such a huge opportunity. But let me tell you a story about Atlas rock climbing. That was the first niche I ever picked. So we had this crazy idea of starting the first and only marketing agency for rock climbing gyms. And guess how many clients we signed? We closed 0 clients, guys. Depending on the time of the day, at peak hours, there's literally a waiting line to use the rock climbing walls. What we found out is while it's untapped, in most cities, there's only like 2 or 3 options total. And that's maximum. In some cities, there's either no rock climbing gym or there's 1 rock climbing gym. So if people want a rock climbing gym, even if their SEO sucks, all they have to do is go on Google, type in rock climbing gym with a city name, and then they go to it. There wasn't a demand. There wasn't a need. Let's say that there is product market fit. Let's say that they all really want your service. They need more members. Now you're alone in trying to figure out how to actually get them results. You're going to have to figure out from scratch how to actually get them clients. And acquisition, by far, is the hardest skill of any local business. So I'm out on weird as fuck niches. And I'm also out on SaaS. So about a year ago, and by the way, I love HighLevel. I have a crazy announcement coming up with HighLevel just for you guys. I'm actually working directly with Sean, their CEO, on some crazy innovations for agency owners. That being said, I'm still out on using SaaS as an agency model. I think that it's extremely hard to get enough customers to make a ton of money if you go in and sell your services as low ticket. So I don't know if you guys remember, we've been talking about how hard it is to make low ticket niches work. And the reason is because you have to get hundreds of customers for your client in order for them to actually make money. And the same goes for you. If you're just starting out and you don't have a huge audience of plumbers or dentists or roofers or gyms or whatever, it's going to be really hard for you to go out and make enough money with a small number of SaaS clients. So are there successful SaaS agencies? Absolutely. One of my good friends, Matt DeCino, has a very successful Go HighLevel SaaS agency with hundreds of clients, but he's also an 8-figure entrepreneur, extremely talented, has insane amount of leverage, has money, is willing to go into the red for long enough before actually being profitable, so on and so forth. Is it possible? Absolutely, but you're just playing a harder game. And the reason I put Alex Becker is because he talks about when you're starting out, first learn a high income skill, then you want to start easy businesses like SMMA, where it's already proven to work. All you have to do is sell your skill for money. You're selling your time and your skill as a service to business owners in exchange for money. He also talks about after that, go and build a SaaS, go and build an e-com brand, go and build more difficult businesses. But when you're starting out, SaaS is going to be hard because it requires more capital, more time, more money to go into the red before you actually become profitable. And that's been my theory since the last year. It's funny because about a year ago, I posted this challenge with Tony Lee about hitting 100K a month without SaaS, straight up agency. And he ended up partnering with another one of our students, Austin Crispell, and they ended up scaling their agency to over $130,000 per month. And what's crazy is that they've closed clients for $14,000. If you do the math, $297 would be one SaaS client. So if you divide $14,000 divided by 297, you would have to get 47 SaaS clients to make as much as their one individual agency client. And it goes back to everything we've been talking about in regards to low ticket versus high ticket. I'd rather pick niches and business models where you can make more for less. With that in mind, let's talk about the top niches for 2024. Let's dive in. Number one, pay when you rank SEO. Right now, a lot of people sell SEO, but very few sell performance-based SEO. And I believe this is a huge opportunity. If you can reach out to business owners and tell them, hey, you only pay me when you rank, you'll be able to grab a ton of market share. Now, what's interesting is that this business model has been proven to work in the advertising space. There's a ton of agencies offering pay per appointment, even pay per close. That being said, very few agencies, if any, are offering pay when you rank SEO. And I think that if you go out with this offer, it's going to allow you to destroy all of the SEO competition. So I think going into 2024, this is a massive opportunity. And I actually have something that I'm working on for this, for you guys, that will be coming out very, very soon. So if you want to offer pay when you rank SEO to your clients, stay tuned because we're going to be launching something for you guys on this exact offer really soon. And by really soon, I mean within the next 2 to 3 months. So I think this is a massive opportunity. Again, it's been proven to work in the ad space, saying, hey, pay us when we perform in generating you leads, in generating you appointments, in generating you deals closed. But no one has said, hey, pay me when we perform in terms of getting you ranked. So that's going to be huge for 2024. The other big thing for 2024 is going to be short form content. That being said, not just editing reels. I think if you're just editing reels, you're going to get destroyed. It's become so commoditized. And then also with the developments in AI editing, I believe that if you're just doing editing for short forms, it's going to be really tough. Right now in 2023, going into 2024, people still want to go viral. They still believe that content is king and are willing to invest in order to make that happen. If you can become a short form content strategist alongside the editing, alongside the scripting, alongside the posting, you will be able to get clients in 2024. If you can crack the code on how to actually get views and go viral for short form content, and you're able to bring the strategy alongside all of the other things like editing, you'll be able to win. So I really like that niche. The other opportunity that I see going into 2024 is horizontal scaling agencies. So let's say that you're a mediocre editor or a good editor. Like, I want to do short form content, but I don't know how to help people go viral. Another big opportunity going into 2024 is something called a horizontal scaling agency, where you take people's already proven viral content, and what you would do is create 10, 20, even 30 other accounts for you to grow with that same exact content. And you can either re-edit them with GTA footage on the bottom or some other type of video game footage on the bottom, or you could literally take the videos that have been proven to work or someone that have already gone viral and just re-edit them in a slightly different style and then repost them. So if you look at what all of the big content creators are doing now to scale their social media presence, they are building out more and more and more short form pages on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, so on and so forth. So if you can be an agency that helps people do that, and you could tell people, hey, I can actually have 30 pages going, posting 3 times a day, which means that we're posting 90 times a day, which means that we're posting 2,700 pieces of short form content per month. I believe that people will pay a lot of money for that. So about 6 months ago, I made a video about how AI agencies are dumb and how they're not going anywhere. And I want to have a moment of honesty, of transparency, of vulnerability, and let you guys know that I was wrong. So I really try to give you guys my all, and I try to share everything that I know with my heart, based on my experiences, based on my success. That being said, I'm not perfect, and there have been times that I've been wrong, and this is one of them. I think that as things have progressed, I've seen a bigger and bigger need for AI agencies on the implementation side. I do believe that it's still a hard business to run through a reoccurring model. I think it's more of like a high ticket, one-time payment sort of agency model where you hire an agency to build out your conversational AI one time for $5,000 and then you're done. Or you could maybe charge $200 or $300 a month for an insurance fee to just continue to monitor it. Or maybe you could charge a little bit more. That being said, I was wrong. I made a video saying how I don't see that it could work. That being said, fast forward to right now, I do believe that it can work very well. And again, I do believe that you have to change the mechanics of how you monetize it. I think it's very hard to go in there and charge $1,500 a month and expect someone to pay you for 3 years, like a chiropractor would do for TikTok ads. But I do believe that there's an opportunity to go in and charge $2,000, $3,000, even $5,000 for a custom build out, and then either charge an insurance fee for, if anything breaks, you can go in there, fix it, and essentially provide customer support. Or for ongoing updates to keep training the AI, you could charge maybe $500 a month just to continually improve it and optimize it. So it will be a slightly different monetization model compared to a traditional agency. That being said, I see a lot of potential, especially with everything that HighLevel is currently building out around AI. For example, they just introduced that they're going to be launching voice AI. That being said, I don't think it's going to be easy to get a ton of reoccurring revenue, but you can always upsell additional services for that reoccurring. So if I was starting a conversational AI agency today, I would go after a certain niche. I would charge $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000 for the setup. Then I would charge a few $100s to maintain it and optimize it. But then I would upsell them on things like ads so that I can get more money reoccurring. I got 4 more for you guys and it will be all done. And I actually have a top secret bonus niche just for you guys that I know is going to absolutely crush. So next up, Paper Show. If you guys don't know, a few years back, Alex Hormozi launched this software called Alan. I was his #1 affiliate, and I used it for my own agency, Atlas Digital, and it crushed. Paper Show took the entire agency world by storm. And what's really interesting is that over the last 2 or 3 years, it's died out. There's not as many people offering Paper Show. And the idea here is that there's no hidden setup fee. There's no retainers. You just have to cover ad spend and pay me for every time you get an appointment that shows up, which is what these business owners ultimately want. And it's the thing that you can control. If you do pay per close, for example, at that point, it's also dependent on the business owner's ability for them to close the appointment. But with this, it allows you to maintain all the control and also scale with the clients. So if you get someone that wants 100 appointments per month that actually show up, and you're able to deliver on that and charge $100 every single one of those appointments, you're making $10,000. And if they're covering ad spend, that is pure profit. Now, just like the pay as you rank that we were talking about earlier, and I told you guys I've got something crazy coming out just for that, I also have a brand new Paper Show course that's going to be dropping in 2024, breaking this all down. So I am super excited. I'm going to be going nuts again by giving everything away for free and showing you how you can leverage the Paper Show agency model to crush it in 2024 while everyone else is still offering retainers. That's going to be coming out very, very soon. I think that's a big opportunity. I think that will make a comeback in 2024. Now I've got my money on it. You guys don't need to put your money on it because the course is going to be absolutely free and I'm going to be hooking you guys up, giving it all away. So with that in mind, let's keep going. I do love high ticket niches. So earlier, we talked about low-ticket niches and why I hate them. Well, I love high-ticket niches. If they've got money and it's easy for me to make them money, then this whole thing of SMMA becomes easier. Prospects have money. Their prospects also have money, and I just get them somewhat good results. They're going to be happy. So, for example, I like HVAC. Those HVAC units go for like $5,000 to $10,000. You get them one HVAC unit sold, they make their money back. I like high-ticket medical. So things like med spa, stem cell, spinal decompression, TRT clinics, all of those high ticket medical niches I'm a huge fan of. I also like legal. I like solar niches where if you get them one client, it pays for your entire marketing service fee. I also like the classics if you can do it better. And that's a big if. If you can figure out a way to be better, chiro niche and the dental niche and the med spa niche and all these niches that have already been proven to work over and over and over again, there's always money to be made. I am a big believer in going into saturated niches where there's a lot of money and all you have to do is figure out how to beat all of your competitors. So I'm going to show on the screen this video right here. It talks about how to actually innovate. It talks about what to do if you're going into a saturated niche to separate yourself from everyone else. I would go and watch that video. And by the way, I would watch that video regardless because it's going to help you guys stand out and answer the question of what makes you guys different in the SMMA space. And you're never going to have to worry about saturation ever again if you can crack the code on it. So with that in mind, again, big fan of the classics. Those will always work, or at least for a long, long time. All you have to do is figure out how to innovate and be better. And also go after mortgage because as you guys know, Isaac is the ads god. And he told me to tell you guys to go after mortgage. I called him last night. I'm like, hey, here's the niches that I think are good. Here's the niches that I think are bad. What is missing? And he said, mortgage. So I was like, anything else? He's like, no. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. So there's about to be a lot of mortgage agencies after this video. And last but not least, it's not technically an agency, but I think there's a huge need. I actually know there's a huge need. And it's running recruiting ads for local businesses. So what do solar companies need? They need more sales reps. What do roofers need? They need more sales reps. What do dentists need? They need more front desk staff members. All of these local businesses that all of the marketing agencies are helping to grow are going to need to hire people as they scale. So if you can offer recruiting in the form of running ads to get them interviews with potential candidates who are applying for the job, or you can place virtual assistants to help them out and again, automate their business, there's a lot of money to be made. So with that in mind, guys, that's it. Those are the best and worst niches for 2024. Peace out.